Hi guys, this is Andrew with rockclass101.com. Today we're going to learn one of my favorite tunes. I gave this a shot at learning when I was about 15, so this song has a lot of memories for me, and I was really excited to do it for the site. It's Sultans of Swing by Straits. Probably one of the most iconic guitar tunes out there. It has a lot of cool licks in it. It's got two great solos. This arrangement is going to condense some of the best parts of the song. It's got quite a few cool licks in it. It's got the first solo that is in the song. I put that pretty close to note for note, and it's got a lot of really neat rhythm throughout it, and we're going to be talking about the rhythm technique too. So this YouTube video, we're going to be learning the complete intro. And if you guys want to learn the rest of the song, which would include the first verse, the second verse, the chorus, the solo, as well as the rhythm behind the solo, you can get all of that at rockclass101.com. So the other parts of the lesson will be part 2 and part 3, covers everything I said, as well as access to the complete tabs and the on-screen tab viewer, which basically lets you watch my performance video, hit play on the video and watch the tab scroll across in real time. You can highlight bars to loop them. You can slow it down. It's a great asset for learning. So all of that is at rockclass101.com, as well as a backing track. So once you learn the solo, you can play along with the rhythm behind it. So let's go ahead and get started with the lesson. There's going to be a new technique in here called a Rasgueado, and it's a technique you see a lot in flamenco style playing. So that means that when we're strumming, instead of just one direct strum, we're going to have a layered strum where each finger kind of has a flick on its own, right? So the approach that I use for this is by going pinky, ring finger, middle finger, index finger. So that's kind of the approach I go. So if you look at it without the strum, it's just pinky, third, second, first, okay? So this first chord that we're making is just a regular D minor chord, so go ahead and make a D minor, and we've got a hit on the ukulele's body. So that's kind of, when you listen to the song, you hear a little, starts with a drum hit, boom, and then it kicks in with a cool little rhythm. So we're going to mimic that by just going with one tap on the top of the ukulele's body with your thumb. And then we've got the D minor chord, and we're going to do that technique. So the technique again is just pinky, third, second, first. And when I put it together, I get that. Right? And I'm going to add one extra thing. I'm going to come up after I do this flick, right, with all 4 fingers. I'm going to come back up and use my thumb to hit the first string. So this technique will probably take you a couple weeks just to get used to if you haven't done it before, because it's really tricky. It's all about independence in your right hand. So the movement comes from your actual fingers flicking. It's not the movement in your wrist, right? So don't think of it like a strumming, right? Think of the movement coming from your fingers doing the flicks. So that's what we get. So one way you can practice, guys, is just going slow. Pinky, third, second, first. Right, so I know it doesn't really have a rhythm or anything, but you're just working on getting that independence and then slowly speeding it up. So that is our very first technique in this song. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to play the first part of this intro so we can put it in context, and then we'll break it down. Okay, so I played the first 4 bars right there, so let's break it down. Again, we now know that we have a hit for the first part. That's our pickup measure, just a quick little bop. And then into that D minor with that new technique we just talked about. And from there, we're going to be adding slaps. And our slaps are going to be on beats 2 and 4. And the slaps happen throughout these entire 4 bars up until the 4th bar when we're going to hold out the last chord. But we'll talk about that when we get there. So again, we have a hit and into that D minor. And again, remember, we come up with an open first string after the 4-finger strum. Okay, after that, we have our first slap. So we're just going to add a slap and follow that with a pluck of D minor. Okay, we're going to hold that pluck out and then again hit the first string open, followed by a slap and another pluck. Okay, so it sounds like that. If I slow it down, I have strum, 1, slap, pluck, 1, slap, pluck. Okay, and all of those hits are on that D minor chord. Okay, so again, I have thumb, strum, 1, slap, pluck, 1, slap, pluck, and hold that one out into our next measure. And then in measure 2, we're going to add another open first, followed by a slap, and again an open first. And this time on beat 3, we're going to change to A minor. Okay? So here's what the first bar and a half sound like. Okay? So one more time. Alright, so if I call it out, I have strum, 1, slap, pluck, 1, slap, pluck, 1, slap, 1, strum. And that A minor strum is a regular strum, okay? So it's a bit tricky. If I take from bar 2, I have 1 and 2 and 3. I have 1 and slap and strum, right? And all those ends are open first string. So on A minor, I'm just gonna hold the A minor chord out, and again, I'm gonna have another hit of the open first on the end of 3 and a slap, and then I'm gonna pluck strings 1 and 2 on the end of 4. So now I have okay, and if I call it out, I have strum, 1, slap, pluck, 1, slap, pluck, 1, slap, 1, strum, 1, slap, pluck, right? And that last pluck again, guys, is strings 1 and 2. So one more time. Okay, our next part is bar 3. So it's going to do a hammer-on lick. You're going to be plucking strings 3 and 2 open, and our middle finger stays where it was for that A minor, and you're going to hammer on back to that D minor chord. Okay, so it's a bit tricky because you have a double hammer-on, right? Now, if that's a bit too hard, you can always simplify it and just do string 2. And then add that ring finger after when we get to the chord in just a second. So that's what bar 3 and most of bar 4 sound like. So I have this hammer on, 1 and slap, pluck, 1 slap, pluck, 1 slap, pluck. Okay, so it's almost the same stuff, and everything I'm plucking is that D minor. So it's almost the same stuff as what you had done before. Remember, keeping that beat steady with a slap on 2 and 4 really helps to create that great backbeat, especially for a very rhythmic song like this. So if I tie in now bar 1 through 4, and we'll talk about the last couple notes in 4 in just a second, it sounds like this. So at the end of bar 4, we're going to add open 4, open 1, okay? And that's going to be the start of our little lead that we have for this intro. So open 4, open 1. So that hits on the end of 3, and the last one is an entire quarter note, so that's on beat 4. So if I count out from bar 3, I have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay? So again, slower. That's what I get for bars 3 and 4. And bar 5 kicks in to our solo, and we have a higher voicing of D minor. So all we're going to do is we're going to lay our index flat on the 5th fret of strings 1, 2, and 3. And that's what our first bar, or bar 5, sounds like. So I'm just gonna add a strum for the first one. Strum, slap, pluck, and then I'm gonna hit string 2 by itself and put my pinky on 8 on string 1, lift up, and play 5 on string 1, which is barred. So that's what I get. If I tie it from the opens, that's what it sounds like. And our change for this one is going to be, for bar 6, we have a slap on the first beat, and then we'll be going back to adding the slaps to beats 2 and 4. So let me play 5 into 6, and you can hear what that sounds like. Okay, so there again is 5 and 6. So you can hear when we get to bar 6, we have a slap, and then we're adding some picking. We're picking string 1 and 2, which again is still held with that higher voicing for D minor. So it sounds like that. Slap 1, 2. And then we're going back to our regular D minor, but this time around we're ignoring string 4. So this D minor, we're just using our middle finger on the 3rd string 2nd fret and our index on the 1st fret of string 2. So I can strum that chord and then add my ring to 3 on string 1, and then a slap and an open first. So it sounds like that. Strum 3, slap, open first. Alright, so if I put 5 and 6 together again, I have. Okay, so for bar 7, we're going to keep that same shortened D minor chord that we have. We're going to hit string 2 by itself, add a slap, and then we're going to finish up that lick. So it sounds like this. So again, we have 2 by itself, slap, then we're going to play 2 again, lift our index up, we're going to do a hammer-on to a pull-off, so 0, 1, 0, and then hit string 3 by itself. Okay, so that is bar 7. And we're going to hold out this 2nd fret into the last bar, and the last bar is going to add a 1st string open, followed by a slap, put that index back down, we've got the shortened D minor, we're going to pluck that, hold it, and then add the first few vocal melody notes that he sings, which is going to be string 3, 1, 2. So that's what it sounds like again. Okay, so that's the entire first 8 bars for our intro, guys. If I put it together, this is what we have. Okay, so that's basically what it sounds like, guys. And I'll do this, I'll play it 1 time slowly, and then we'll wrap up this lesson. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed this lesson for the intro for Sultans of Swing. If you guys want to learn the rest of the arrangement, which includes that first verse, the second verse, the chorus, the solo, the rhythm behind the solo, everything else in this arrangement, you can get access to part 2 and 3 of the video lessons, as well as the complete tabs and that on-screen tab viewer, which lets you play the tab with the video in real time and slow it down to whatever speed you want, highlight bars, loop them, a great asset in learning how to play this song. All of that is at rockclass101.com. All right, guys, hope to see you in the next lesson. Thanks.